wonderful people! Thank you very much for clicking this video, beautiful souls. Big up to yourself and much love and respect. You see, today is a beautiful day, very beautiful, and I feel very happy myself. Extremely happy. I'm from a festival myself and I feel full of love and full of good vibes, full of everything. Watch till the end, man, and help spread this message of love, peace, and unity among all races. You see? I tell you more about the festival as we keep watching. Watch till the end, kindly, and hit the like button. Yes, baby. Good vibes.
There's something that they're not telling you yet. This is a channel message. It's not going to be for everybody. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But there is sacred knowledge. There is messages, wisdom coming to you. There's something that they haven't told you yet about you, something that you haven't told you about you that changes everything. Before you get upset, they're not keeping it from you to make your life difficult or to have you suffer. It's coming to you at exactly the right time, at the perfect time, so that you can appreciate it in its fullness, so you can appreciate yourself in your fullness, in your wholeness, so that you can get the absolute most out of this moment possible. I'm getting chills. I feel like when you learn this, when you feel this course through your body, it changes everything. It changes you on a cellular level. It changes the way you move through life. It changes the way you see everything around you. It's like putting on a new set of glasses if you were colorblind and now you can see color. It's like walking out into the sunshine for the first time ever. It's like that feeling of when you come out and it's the first time after the spring thaw and you can feel the sunshine on your face, warm. It's like that, but your life. I feel so much excitement from this. I feel like you are going to be shaking. You are going to be trembling from excitement of the knowledge of what this brings to your life, of how much this changes everything for you, of how much this puts all of the pieces in place, all of those carefully collected pieces that you have been trying to put together into the beautiful puzzle that shows you who you are, what you're meant to do here, your greatest success, your greatest purpose, your greatest abundance, walking into your happily ever after, your sunshine, your love. It's something that they're keeping from you out of love, so that they could gift you the most beautiful moment possible when you learn it, so that it could be the perfect condition, so that there's no way that when you learn this, you can't walk forward into your oasis, your paradise, your Eden. This is the key to your Eden, and it's coming. I love you.
Oh, okay. Good vibes!
The next time you brush your teeth, don't brush side to side like this. Instead, angle your toothbrush up a little bit and brush on each individual tooth in a circular fashion. This is going to be safer for the gum line and actually clean your teeth better as well. The next time you're sitting on the toilet, try propping your feet up like this while you're going. This is going to change the angle of your colon and lead to an easier and better bowel movement. The next time you use a Band-Aid, instead of putting it on like normal, try cutting the ends of it just like this. Then you want to wrap it in a figure 8 style so that no matter what, it doesn't come off like it normally would.
Ah.
Sit over here. It's not that serious.
Do you believe that stereotype?
That black people can't swim?
Yeah.
I think it's more that black people don't want to swim.
Why don't they want to
What
swim?
we swimming for?
Well, why is anyone swimming?
Exactly. Cause y'all just need some shit to do. Like, why are we trying to swim, man?
But I mean, it's
trying to fuck around.
It's a good skill to have, right?
good skill to have.
Swimming?
It's good, great
Why the fuck would
exercise.
I ain't trying to go to the ocean. Nah, yeah, I'm scared of the ocean. The ocean's crazy. I ain't trying to go swimming. For
If
what?
somebody finds themselves in a body of water, it's beneficial to know how to swim.
Yeah, but why are you finding yourself in a body of water?
Well, I mean, life can lead you to places you don't expect to be all the time, right?
What about boating? You ever go on Lake Austin in the
Fuck a
summertime?
Fuck a boat. But I'm saying, like, somebody who goes, I know how to make a fire. You go, well, why do you need? But you find yourself, for whatever reason, circumstances lead you to somewhere where, you know, you're in the wilderness. You know, you could have been on a trip and something went wrong, and now, but you have the skill. You know how to make the fire. All of a sudden, you're staying warm. You can cook food.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I feel like I can imagine a lot of scenarios where I could end up needing to build a fire. So that is a good skill. How the fuck life gonna just drop me in a body of water? I'm
Never
gonna have to choose.
I mean,
that. I'm gonna
most
have
of
to
the
choose
earth
that.
is water.
But I'm gonna have to choose to go there. I ain't just gonna land in water.
This
You
is
know what
such a
I'm saying?
wild argument to have
don't
with
like the
somebody.
beach?
The only time I could imagine just landing in a body of water without choosing to be
Yeah.
there would be like
A plane crash?
maybe a plane burning. Yeah,
Yeah.
I already got backups for that. We good.
What's the backup for that?
Nah, I mean there's no bad. I just died.
Oh, okay.
We walked over to one side of the lab, and he said, by the way, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And I said, whose? What do you mean, whose? He said, yes, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And at that point, I became frightened, and I was a little terrified, thinking to myself that if anybody walks in the room now, I know we're in jeopardy, we're in trouble, because he shouldn't be giving me this information. And then he pulled out one of these mosaics and showed this base, which had geometric shapes. There were towers, there were spherical buildings, there were very tall towers, and things that looked somewhat like radar dishes, but they were large structures. I realized that he was telling me this information because he didn't have anybody else to talk to. Now, probably in that laboratory, he was probably one of the few enlisted people, and he was a worker bee. And he had a high-level security clearance, obviously, but he couldn't share that information with anybody else. And in those days, we didn't. When you had your security clearance, you took it seriously. If I compare it to what I'm seeing now, because I do have photographs that have artifacts in them that are similar to what I saw, they're massive. Some of the structures are, half a mile in size. So they're huge structures. Yeah, I mean, and they're all different size structures in different photographs. You would have to have an above top secret security clearance, which generally would be cryptologic or above. In my case, I ultimately did have a cryptologic security clearance, and when I did have that clearance, I had access to all of the imagery from the U-2s, from the satellite photography. I had access to everything we were doing. Now, the thing that was interesting about my job as an electronics technician, I got to go into every area of the facility. I got to go into the war room at SAC, Strategic Air Command, and did maintenance on equipment there. So I would see a lot of data that people generally wouldn't see with my rank. Normally you would go into your job, you'd do your one little task. If you were a photographic interpreter, that's all you did. You didn't discuss what you did with anyone else. If you worked on U2 imagery, you worked on U2 imagery. If you worked on satellite imagery, you worked on satellite imagery. But you didn't discuss your job with anyone else. And you only did your task.
Were the ancient Egyptian people small people? This is one of the questions that keeps reappearing over and over in reference to the size of the tunnels inside the pyramids. Now, I can tell you that the ancient Egyptians weren't actually that small. We know this because obviously we found a lot of mummies, so we're able to measure these people. In fact, the average height of a male in ancient Egypt was 5'6", and for a female the average was 5'2". But that's not the reason that these tunnels are so small. The reason the tunnels are small is because they're not supposed to be actually used by anyone. The pyramids were built as tombs, and they were supposed to be used only once. Once a pharaoh dies, he is taken inside the pyramid, placed in there, and then the pyramid is sealed for what is supposed to be an eternity. Also, the pyramids were built with security in mind. The ancient Egyptians were very aware of tomb robbers. There is some evidence to suggest that the pharaohs had even hired guards to guard their tombs or pyramids after their death for a period of time. And with that in mind, this is why I personally think there are several chambers within the pyramid to cause confusion and distraction to any tomb robbers. I sometimes feel from some of the comments that people write that they think the pyramids were built as a tourist attraction, which obviously they weren't. Your comfort was definitely not in mind when they did build them. And some people also theorize that the tunnels were built so small to force you to bow as you're entering the pyramid, as in to bow towards the king or the pharaoh that was within the pyramid. But as I said, they were never meant for people to enter them, so I think that theory is untrue. But to answer the original question, no, they weren't short.
Is there any evidence that there was other species of human beings that existed?
For a long time it was held that the Neanderthals were stupid, primitive subhumans, shambling, lacking symbolism. Turns out that that's not true at all. The latest scientific evidence on the Neanderthals is that they were symbolic creatures, that they did do art, that they were in every sense human, and they were in every sense human because anatomically modern humans interbred with Neanderthals. You can't interbreed with another species. They clearly were human beings, but they looked rather different from us, and that's why certain populations in the world today still have 3 to 5% of Neanderthal DNA. Then in Russia, in Denisova Cave, they find a single pinky bone from a little finger, and they do the DNA testing on it. They're able to get a complete genome from it, and what they discover is this isn't a Neanderthal, this isn't an anatomically modern human being, this is another human species who they named the Denisovans. They think they're more closely related to Neanderthals than they are to anatomically modern humans, but they're clearly another human species, and they also interbred with anatomically modern humans, and Denisovan DNA survives. Interestingly enough, it survives predominantly in Australasia, in Papua New Guinea and amongst Australian Aborigines.
This division that we're experiencing right now is only going to be getting more and more intense, and how it's going to appear to you is that certain people are asleep. That's a very common phrase I've heard to describe this. It's going to seem like they're not paying attention. It might even seem like they're on another planet because of how far they have drifted from the reality that you're experiencing. But something that I feel is very important for you to know is that they are not unconscious. They are not asleep, okay? They're not paying attention. Their consciousness is in a different plane of reality. And your consciousness is in a different plane of reality from them. So what this is going to cause is a lot of very serious communication problems. Because in the past, we could still communicate with each other. Even if we were in different aspects of reality, we could still communicate with each other non-verbally, sometimes through our telepathy or through our eye contact or body language. And now, as we move more and more into this period of division, there is going to be this inability to communicate with the people that are in that alternate version of reality, or the alternate dimension, the alternate version of consciousness. It's going to be impossible to communicate with them on any level. It's going to be impossible for them to understand us. This is the reason why it's going to be impossible to communicate. It's not because we don't understand them. It's not because we're not trying to communicate with them. It's because the people that are in that aspect of consciousness literally cannot hear, see, experience, or understand you. It's like you don't exist to them in their reality. And that's because their version of reality is becoming so individualized. It's becoming so focused on the individual through many different ways, okay? It's not just like a narcissistic tendency. It's becoming so focused on technology, so focused on very extreme individualism. It's the best way I can describe it. So there's no way for them to even know you exist. And it's not their fault that this is happening. This is a natural cause of our universe that we're in. This is a natural thing that happens when we're going through this expansion. But it is important for you to remember that they are not asleep. They are not unconscious. They are not less than you. They have a very important role to do right now in our evolution. But it may seem like you cannot communicate with them, or you cannot get through to them, and it's going to be very frustrating. But as long as you can remember that it's not about them being asleep and you being awake, or you being better or them being worse, we all have an individual role, you will be able to accept what's happening a lot more easily.
This is the best awakening technique in the world. And no, I'm not saying that lightly, this is seriously one of the best ways. You see, the problem for most in the awakening is that suddenly you've learned about reincarnation, the afterlife, all this stuff. And instead of going within or using the simplicity of awareness, people get distracted with astrology, numerology, angel numbers, crystal, tarot readings, all these things. And the reason why this is so bad is because imagine this. Your soul, the heavenly self, the consciousness, is always just observing the human, which is operating at a very mental level. The human is fighting, battling, efforting for awakening, and essentially it's right here in front of you. The thing is, the human can't awaken itself. The awakening, the enlightenment process is all organized by the soul. And what happens is that until the human is ready to finally give it all up, all these distractions, imagine the human just battling, working, trying to get awakened. The soul is just watching the awareness, waiting for the human to give all these things up. And once the human finally gives all these things up, the awareness, the soul, the multidimensional self can flow into your being. But as long as you're distracted with all these new age methodologies and terminologies and practices, you're still just going to be stuck in the human mind. The human mind is what you're trying to use to get out of the box, but it's also what is keeping you inside the box. You kind of have to transcend the human mind and go a level above it, into consciousness, into awareness. And when you do so, when you finally give it all up and you go into pure experience in the now, finally you experience this vibrant, highly saturated world. And in this presence, in the point of presence, what happens is that the past and the future literally funnels into the present. When you're so mental, when you're out in the future, in your thoughts, discovering potentials, or you're revisiting the past, you can't really awaken because you're never in the now. Once you're in the now, there is no time and space, there's just awareness. And this is when all the downloads can flow into your being. This is when you can learn about your past lives. This is when all the juice in your awakening, in your enlightenment starts to happen. So it's really about giving all the practices up, because the soul, the awareness, is just watching the human struggle for awakening. And when it gives it all up, all the magic happens. Enjoy.
Proof that chess is not royal.
I'm sorry. I want to get in on the love in here. Can I sleep next to you? Can I sleep here? I'm low-key jealous. Okay, if you're not going to let me sleep with you, can I at least take Millie to cuddle with her? Let me cuddle with Millie. You're being incredibly selfish. Can you groom me? Oh, thank you. Come here, Millie. Come here. Give me her. Okay, now that he's really in a deep sleep, I'm thinking I can get away with taking her. You know what I think's gonna work? The sound of treats. Can I get Millie? Yeah? Come on. Yeah, I know you'd sell your soul for treats. He's debating whether he wants the treats or Millie. Come on. You want Millie back or you want the treats? Come on, Mimi. He's not even faithful to you. Come on. You're not even faithful, dude. You were willing to sell her for some treats. This is what you want?
Oh, the butter candle. Huh, what is this? This is something that I don't know. But when I see this guy, I definitely know it's something like some life hack and that, which is always very incredible. Because we see and learn a lot of stuff with this guy. There's some good waves guy, man. Much love to him. Let's see what he's making. That looks like some, what do you call it? Some candle string and some butter, huh? And then you put it in the fridge. Okay, and he continues to prepare his stuff normally. Oh, this is incredible. Oh, you see, these hacks are very interesting because they show us how to handle life problems, day-to-day life problems, and it's very interesting. Ah, and this guy just came up with a candle, and oh my god, ah, and it's working. How is this possible? This is very interesting, man. Ah,
Why does the universe exist? And of course, nobody knows. What could it exist for? When you get into a state of cosmic consciousness, you'll see very clearly that the point of existence is now.
what? Yo, wonderful people! Thanks for watching up to this far, man. Much love to you. You see, there's a lot of interesting videos as past with different traveling humans sharing different theories, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about them. You see, I'd just like those videos as different traveling humans. You know, where I come from, there are people of different cultures, a lot of cultures. And now today there was an event there, a national event, and we attended. And now people portray and showcase their cultures and what they love. And there was a lot of dishes that were prepared. Myself, I'm a cultural guy with my friend here, and he tried most of the dishes. And now I feel pretty full, which is pretty incredible. Much love to everybody. Now these bananas here, they are nice, but after all that experience, I feel so full that, I just feel like they should chill for some time. I tell you more about the experience. Watch till the end. You are around.
What if I told you that if you change your mindset, you can change the quality of your life? Okay, change your mindset, change your quality of life. I'm sitting on the car park whilst I'm doing this content, so yeah. Listen, you went to school small, okay, and so you did small science. Do you remember the statement, like poles attract and like poles repel? Do you remember that statement? Yeah, good. Now, based on that statement, if the poles in your mind are negative, auntie, uncle, what do you think you're attracting? You hadn't thought of it, had you? Everything is energy. Energy is what they call poles, or the poles that they refer to in that statement are energy too. And so, sister, change your mind set to change your quality of life. Let me give you an assignment. For the next 72 hours, 72 hours, 72 hours is 24, 48, 3 days. Good, 3 days. For the next 3 days, every expectation that you have, replace with gratitude. It's a hard assignment, I know. Especially when you live in this country where, Charlie, right now, sometimes even the air to breathe cries like we have to pay for. And so I know that is a tough assignment. But you know what they say, if you want something hard enough, you'll do anything for it. So trust me and try this. For the next 72 hours, replace all your expectations with gratitude. Because you see, once you start to change the energy, your mind, the energy around you to a positive one, other positive things want to be a part of this glow that you have created. And so start being thankful for the things that you expect. Your delulu to trululu. You understand? Yeah. It's a simple but difficult assignment. Try it. Change your expectation to gratitude. 72 hours. You will notice little changes. Little ones. Like, oh, people are more pleasant to you. People who randomly check on you will, like things will start, there'll be a slight shift in the energy. You will notice it. All I'm asking for is 3 days of your time. 72 hours. Change your expectation to gratitude. This is a powerful manifestation tip. Yes. Simple assignment. Change your mindset to change your quality of life. Charlie, guard your heart, guard your essence, guard your spirit. And as I always say, stay safe out there. Love you.
Is this real? What is this? Oh, this looks like... What? Hi, yeah. This looks like a magician flamingo. What? Which type of bird is this doing that? Oh my god. Hi, yeah. And this looks like some dead person. Oh, I also wonder if this is real. Oh, this looks like some UFO that is deep in the water and... Yo, this is creepy. How do you have these things, man? These things, where are they from? Who recorded these photos? These are not very creepy stuff. And I wonder what these things might be. Yeah. Who made this stuff? Where did they come from? How comes you never see about this stuff on TV and such stuff? Oh my god. This is creepy now. What is that? Oh, and what's up with the clouds? This looks like some movie of some sort.
This man at the beach was shocked when he saw something that looked like seaweed washes up in the shape of a disfigured woman. But when he went in to get a closer look, it was actually just a dog who had been playing in the ocean. This person was in their parked car when her dash cam recorded something unexplainable. Seemingly out of nowhere, a squirrel comes out of the concrete as if it were grass. And considering it was a solid road, that should be physically impossible.
I am witnessing a glitch in the fucking Matrix, and I swear to God, if this squirrel doesn't come back out, I'm gonna have a panic attack because, do you see his nose? I'm not going crazy. Oh my God, wait, stop it. There's nothing there. There's not a grate there.
This woman recorded a deer at the park, and while she was zooming in, she could have sworn it had two heads. It wasn't clear if it was another deer or not, but they looked to be attached to the same body. However, when it kneels down into the grass to eat its second head, mysteriously disappears.
Incredible. How is it still alive?
What? This is another hack. Let's see. Oh, this guy is always doing some incredible stuff. What's he up to today? Let's see. What's this guy making now? What's this? What? Wait a minute. This is very interesting. How do they do this? Let's see. That's nice. You see, I'm actually falling for these magic tricks, and I've lost money going to see what these magicians do. And growing up and seeing that most of them were just tricks, I really feel disappointed. And I take it as a lesson for myself in life. Because it's not everything is the way you think it is. You can see things and it's not just like that. Much love to... How is this even possible? You see, if I didn't know... What? How is this even possible?
You should have never trusted me. Oh no.
He's dead.
Did I kill him? We're gonna have to jumpstart his heart. 100 volts. Didn't work.
Oh no.
200 volts.
Oh no.
400 volts.
He's alive!
Jealous pet challenge. Whenever your dog is in another room or just isn't paying attention, act like you see something so adorable and see how they react.
Oh my God, it's so cute! Look how little it is!
No, hey, you have your own bed. Remember how nice it is? Don't you want to sleep in that one? Then I will.
So what does your palm say about your relationships? Will it last? Will it end? Well, take a look at your relationship line right here. This line can tell you a lot about the nature of your relationship, the happiness of it, the strength of it, and many other things related to your relationship according to Palmistry study. But look for this sign in particular. If you notice that the relationship line turns downward, this is an indication that the relationship may become unhappy as it goes on. A stronger indication for the end of a relationship is if the line splits like this. Both of these signs combined on your relationship line is a good indication that it's potentially possible that your strongest relationship could end in a potential splitting, parting of ways, or potentially a divorce. So there's many other things that this relationship line can tell you, but what does yours say? Comment and tell me, and of course, like and follow for more of these type of videos.
Here are some reasons that I'm glad I'm single, as a 34-year-old who has never had a boyfriend. I've seen a lot of women on TikTok talk about how their partners just don't help out. Like, their boyfriends and husbands don't help out. And it's not like they start to help out when they're told to. They accuse their wives and girlfriends of nagging. They say, well, you tell me how to help, and keep the emotional labor on them. As fun as that sounds, I'm okay just looking after myself as opposed to another person. I'm looking for a guy who's the right guy for me. I'm not interested in getting into just any random relationship, and that means that I have the ability to make every part of my life amazing. I don't need to settle for anyone or any situation that doesn't add to my happiness.
Sometimes I think women buy shit and bring it home just to fuck with us. And if you give me just a second, I'm gonna tell you why. You see this? See this? It's a big, comfy blanket, and it's full of fucking holes. Now, you know, I know what you're thinking. Goose, what are you talking about? Well, listen. My wife bought this blanket, and then she bought this ladder thing. Hang on, I'll show you. And then she bought this ladder thing to hang said decorative blankets on. Now, any guy knows any blanket that goes on this, you're not supposed to use it. Which makes absolutely no sense to me. Why are we going to buy this big, comfy blanket and I'm not supposed to use it? So yesterday, I was like, it's about 2 o'clock, I'm tired, I'm going to lay down and take a nap. So I grabbed the furry, fluffy, can't-use blanket off the can't-use ladder and decided to take a nap on it. Now I know why you're not supposed to use it. It's fluffy, it's super fluffy, and super comfortable, but it's got all these fucking holes in it, so by the time I was into a 30-minute nap, I woke up and I looked like a fat tuna that was caught up in a net on the couch. Just imagine me and my bulldog just taking the best nap in the world, and then we wake up and then we're trapped in a fisherman's net. Now, it was a trick. I know what y'all are up to. I ain't stupid. Have a good day.
But you know how they wanted to wipe down like the indigenous people in their history?
Right.
Well, they did it before, which is why it was so natural for them to do it to the indigenous. But the Tartarians were also their own people, like their own.
But you're saying Putin was trying to release what's behind the ice wall.
He wants to tell us about the Tartarians. He wants to teach us about a lost history, he says. Supposedly.
Now,
I don't know if it's true or not.
with everything that I'm saying, though, they live behind the ice wall, that map. That's what's behind the other side of the ice wall? According to Putin.
But there's so much. Like, you have to read it. You have to look into it. I really can't go back.
You really can't go into the website?
Oh, it's called Yandex.
Yandex. Let me see. And that's what it looks like, y'all. There you go. Yep, that's definitely it. Yandex. There y'all go. Y'all have nothing to do. Google that. And everybody's gonna Google what? Tartarians Empire?
Oh, yeah. You can Google that on Google too, but you won't get it.
Alright, so you heard that.
You go to Yandex and do search up that through there and it pulls up.
Now, I'm not saying it's real whatsoever, right? But could there be a possibility that that's the way it looks on the other side of that ice wall in Antarctica? Now, to me, if there's not anything on the other side of that ice wall, why do they guard it so much? Why is it not allowed to just explore and go out there and just see for ourselves what's over there? Why is it guarded so much? Now, like I said before, I'm not saying this is real, but look at all the intricate details. Look at this city. Now, I know there's a lot of maps that do talk about cities underneath the ice caps and even on the other side of these ice caps. And there's even maps out there, which I am going to show one. So could these maps show beyond the ice wall? And also, are there passages where you could get beyond the ice barrier as well? So let me know what you think about Antarctica. And if there was an exploration that you could get on, would you go to Antarctica?
Your nails are talking to you, part 2. If you see this, most of the time you don't have to be alarmed. Some of the causes are allergies, trauma or injuries, fungal infections. If you see this, do not ignore it, go to your doctor. It doesn't mean it's always dangerous, but it can be. If you see this, most of the time it's nothing, it's just a simple aging process. But sometimes it can be due to skin conditions like eczema or thyroid conditions like hypothyroidism. But still, there's a tiny percentage that it can go very bad. Let me know which one of these you've had before.